Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And today we're on, really excited about this one. Coach Tony Hull is with us. Truly grateful to have him on. Great guy doing some great things. And so first, I just want to say, Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Man, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I love what you're doing. I love, your podcast. I just became a recent fan, so I appreciate you having me on. It's a blessing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, let's dive into it. I know off air, we talked a little bit about your background, your upbringing, some of those things, your journey. But if you don't mind sharing with the audience, about who you are and what it is you do.
So my name is Coach Tony Hall. I am the running backs coach at the University of Louisiana, Monroe. I coach football at UL Monroe. A bit about who I am. I'm from New Orleans, born and raised through and through. There's no other state in this world that's better than the state of Louisiana. All right, I'm a Louisiana boy. I think it's the greatest state that God ever created. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm from, and I went to Sarah T. Reed High School in New Orleans, Louisiana, which was inner city school. I graduated from there, number 3 in my class, and I went on to play ball at UL Lafayette for 4 years. I got a engineering degree from there, and I went on after that to work for a company named Northrop Grumman out in El Segundo, California, a suburb of LA. We built the F-18 fighter jets. So I worked there for a little while, and I was blessed. I was blessed to come home and be able to work for Lockheed Martin, a subcontract of NASA. So we worked for NASA and built the external fuel tank, that big orange tank. And you remember the old school shuttle,
Mm-hmm.
the big orange shuttle?
Yep.
We built that from womb to tomb, I like to say. It was manufactured at our plant. I worked there for a while, and then Hurricane Katrina happened. And then for a while, we were shut down. So I decided to go and work for the Army Corps of Engineers and help with the cleanup of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, in my hometown. Worked there for a couple months until the plant for NASA opened back up, and then I worked back there. And while working for NASA, I volunteered, coached at my old high school. I coached at Mandeville High School. And then I was blessed to have an opportunity to go on and become the head coach at Warren Easton High School, which was the oldest public high school in the state of Louisiana. It was a school not known for athletics, to say the least. However, in a couple of years, we got that thing turned around, and we became a USA Today top 25 program. So turned that thing around, had some great. One of the things I love the most about what we did at Warren Easton, we probably placed approximately 42 to 50 kids on athletic scholarship in football, in Division I football, throughout the years I was there. The one thing I'm most proud of there is we had 100% graduation rate. Every football player graduated from high school. And that's something, I think that's my greatest record of all time as a coach. That's what I called it. So after that, I went on. I was blessed to make an unheard of jump from high school head coach to a Power 5 Division I job. I was the associate head coach at the University of Kansas for 4 years. 3 years with David Beatty, 1 year with Les Miles. And then I decided to make a jump And I became the co-offensive coordinator at the University of Hawaii for a year. It was during COVID, and some other situations and circumstances didn't line up to my belief value, so I decided to take a job where I'm at now, at the University of Louisiana, Monroe, coaching running backs.
Well, just hearing you talk about your journey, I think one word that comes to mind for me is wow. Hey, man. Okay, maybe that's 2 words. My bad. No, but so good, Coach. It's great when we can just put the work in and put the work in the right way with pure hearted and good intentions. It's always a blessing when we can see that come back to us in a manner of, first off, having, producing positive products, like you said, with the graduation rate and all of that stuff, but then also via opportunities, because opportunities bring opportunities, right?
Yes, sir.
And people are not going to give you opportunities like you've been blessed to have if you haven't put the work in and done the right things to be able to be in those shoes. So, man,
Yes,
I think
sir.
it's awesome, Coach.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, we were talking about this earlier before we got on. I am truly blessed, right?
Yeah.
I am blessed because, you hear, well, a lot of now today, like kids don't have father figures in their lives. And some kids have one father figure. I grew up with 3. Like I had 3 father figures. And we were talking about this earlier. My dad, first of all, my papa, which everybody calls him their grandfather, right? And in Southern Louisiana, we call him my papa. My papa was born in the 20s. My dad, it was a little weird, but my dad was born in the 30s.
Mhm.
And my high school head coach was also born in the 30s. And all 3 of these gentlemen helped raise, and they raised me hard. It was hard. Like I said earlier, man, I never heard good job. I never heard I love you, because they wanted to push me and push me and push me, because they always told me nothing is ever going to be given to you. You have to earn everything you get. And they pushed me. And man, now that I think about it, some people think, that's not the proper way to raise a kid. I think it was a blessing to me, because if I was not raised that way, I would have not achieved what I have achieved so far, and I probably would have given up by now. But being raised that way taught me to just persevere, push through, keep striving to get better, keep working. If a man is working 8 hours, you got to work 10 hours. That's just been ingrained in me since I was a young boy, and I'm blessed to have learned that lesson. And when I get tired, when I get frustrated, when I get mad, when I think that, it's better just to give up, I just go back to those thoughts and those lessons, and I just continue to push.
I love it, man. I think a couple things come up for me. I think the first is, when you're in that situation, you're gonna get this discipline. like you're gonna be disciplined, right? But I think discipline allows us the freedom to be happy, right? And so when we can have that discipline in our life, it puts us in positions to be able to, now I can control my destiny because I put the discipline in to
Yes,
do
sir.
that. I put the work in, and I think that that's a direct correlation to the work that you put in. There's seasons for everything. As a coach, there's a season, preseason, obviously, there's a season for everything. But in that first season, you have to develop the foundation of discipline.
You say that, and it makes me go back to a story, right? So when I was the head coach at Warren Eastern High School, I used to actually, during the season, I used to sleep at the school, because the house where I was living at was like 35, 40 minutes away, right? So I would get to work at 7 a.m., teach, go to practice. By the time the last kid, I didn't leave until the last kid had left the premises and was on the way home. So you're talking 7:30 at night, right? So if I take this 35, 40 minute drive, right? I'd rather stay here. So what I used to do after everybody had left, I called that my professional development time, right? For me as a person, not Coach Hall, not the teacher, not working on lesson plans and coming up, none of that. Nope. It was development for me, right? Professional development. So I would get on the Rivals website and I would look at all the kids on Rivals and I would pull their name and I would look at their huddle. And I would sit there and I would evaluate each player, right? Everybody on the list, from the 5 stars down to the no stars, right? And I did that for years, just preparing for an opportunity, like hoping that opportunity came. Well, when the University of Kansas came calling and I interviewed with them, they was like, hey, we have one more thing we want you to do before you leave. I'm like, sure. We'll give you 2 athletes and we want you to evaluate. I was like, come on, this is I've never heard of that before. And all of the research I've done on interviews at the collegiate level, I've never heard of that. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I did the eval on the 2 running backs, and Coach Beatty came to me. He was like, Tony, he was like, when did you learn to do this? Like, what did I learn to do what? He was like, evaluate. I was like, at this point, I'm thinking I messed up, right? I go, I taught myself. He goes, really? I was like, look, coach, if I did something wrong, just kind of, critique me. He was like, no, Tony, this is the most thorough, impressive evaluation I've ever seen. And I just inside, I just smiled from ear to ear. But it goes back to what you're talking about, the discipline and the preparation. Because, if I would have not done that, I don't know if I would have been able to produce at that level at that given time.
Yes, sir. Man, that is good stuff. It's always great when the work that you've put in can be used. And like how you was talking about, with your your dad and your papa and your coach, all of those things, all of the stuff that you put into it, those are transferable skills.
Yes.
And you can take any of those skills and use those and like pick something, career, relationship, family. I mean, pick something, like you can take, it don't matter. You can take all of those things and apply it to that, and it'll help you go higher and be successful because you're able to learn from those transferable skills.
Yep. And that's nothing I came up with on my own. That's something I learned from them. And like I say, it's a blessing to be able to have that type of skill set. And, that's one of the things I try to instill in my boys as much as I can. Like, when I was at the high school ranks, I was the head coach. So I could instill it in 100 and something kids, right? But now at the collegiate level, I'm responsible for a group. And, my message to them is we don't care what happens outside of these walls. We work, we grind, we work, we grind, we work, we grind, and we let the results take care of themselves. We're a process-focused group. We don't care about results. Results are byproducts of the process, and that's one of the things I sell to them all the time. And that's one of the things that I think whatever group I touch brings to the table. They're process-driven. And they don't really focus on the results.
I love that, Coach. So, just hearing you talk about your journey, hearing you talk about, the great things that you've been blessed and fortunate to achieve and do and see and be, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
My definition of success is taking the cards, quote unquote, that you're dealt, not complaining about it, not crying about it, and playing them to the best of your ability. I think if you can do that in every aspect of your life, right? Don't cry about the situations and circumstances. Every situation has bad and good situations and circumstances. But using those ingredients, right, and using it to produce the best that you can possibly do. And if you do that, I think you're successful.
Man, that is so good, Coach, and it's so true, because like there's a lot of times in our life there's some things that we're going to be involved in, the situations we're going to be around, we have no control of that.
Yes.
And so the hand that we're given, we have no control of that, and so what we do have control of is, hey, bro, how you gonna play them cards? How you gonna play that hand? And I love how you talked about process driven, because now when you focus all your energy on, okay, how am I gonna play my cards? All of the other stuff that's noise or distractions or excuses or all of that stuff. It's crazy how you get that focused tunnel vision and all of that stuff just goes away.
Right. Yeah. Just a quick story about playing the cards you dealt, right? When I was in engineering, I wanted to coach collegiately automatically. I just wanted to jump into college football. And well, I remember Tulane University had just hired a head coach. We're going to leave him nameless, remain nameless, right? He's from out of California. He's no longer coaching. So I was like, oh, they got this new head coach. I want to drive. Took off the rest of the day, my job from NASA. I want to drive to Tulane's campus. I'm going to personally handle my resume. Like, of course he's going to hire me. Like, I'm an engineer, right? So I get there, and just so happened, he's in the front office, and he's talking to the secretary. I'm like, man, look at God. This is perfect. I'm good to go. So I handle my resume. I tell him, I would love to join the staff. And I also tell him, I say, look, coach, I have a nest egg saved up. I will work for free. I will work for you for free if you just allow me the opportunity. As I'm walking out, the guy, I hear him balling up my resume, and I turn around, he's throwing it in the trash. So I said, all right, Tony Hall, it's one of those talks you have with yourself. What are you going to do? Are you going to complain? Are you going to talk about not being able to get an opportunity? And I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I don't have a network full of coaches to network with. I'm going to bring the network to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a program so big and so good, it's going to force every college coach in the country to have to come and talk to me because they're going to want my players. And that's what I did. I didn't complain about the guy at Tulane not hiring me. I didn't complain about not having a network. I decided to, all right, these are the cards I'm dealt. Here's how I'm going to play them. And I was blessed to be able to play those cards pretty good.
And that's that warms my heart to hear that story, Coach, because I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care. Like, none of us are immune from growing through tough things.
Yep.
And I said growing, not going. None of us are immune from growing through tough things. And so we have to learn that despite anything that comes our way, like, we aren't you're in control of your destiny.
Yes, sir.
The only person that can limit you is you. And I love how like those things, like, it's always going to be people that can kind of crush you, like you said, man. That I hate to hear that, like, just crush you. But man, that bounce back though.
Oh yeah.
That. Hey,
oh yes.
That bounce back, man. It gives you that drive that just. It just gives you that hunger. Oh, I got, okay. All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And I tell you, it becomes contagious, right?
Ooh.
So when you persevere through that first situation,
yes,
you have success, you're like, okay, I see it work. So when that next opportunity come, right, that pushing through is going to be just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So you push just a little bit, and then you have success, and you're like, okay. And the more success you have with it, it becomes contagious for you, but it also becomes contagious for the people around you.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of perseverance.
Yes, sir.
right? It's infectious. Why do you think successful people want to hang around other successful people? Because it's contagious, right? And that's why I try to do what I do, because it's not just for me. Like, I'm trying to pass this on to my daughters. I'm trying to pass this on to my wife. I'm trying to pass this on to my players. I'm trying to pass this on to my administration. I'm trying to pass this on to the university I'm affected. Like, I want this to become contagious. At Warren Easton, it's one of the top performing academic schools in the city of New Orleans, right? That it was back this was when you had an application process. You had to turn in the application, and it was a lottery and all those things. Well, when we got going, when we had it successful, it was already one of the top receiving applications in the city. We quadrupled the amount of applications the school were receiving once we started becoming successful. Again, people want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of success. It becomes contagious.
I love it, Coach. And reps make you better. Just like weights. And the more you do it, the stronger you get at doing it.
Yes, sir.
Develop those muscles, and like
yes, sir.
Cats, like you tell them, then you start looking in the mirror. Man, get out the mirror, man.
But they hate doing it, and it hurts when they're doing it, right?
That's it. But then as you do it more, you learn that, hey, the obstacle is the way. And so you get a pride about that process, like you talked about. Like, okay, what you gonna throw at me now? Come on, sucker. I'll hit you in the mouth. Come on. Let's go.
I tell my kids all the time, growth hurts.
Yes.
So if you're going through pain, if you're going through struggle, you're actually growing.
Yes.
So embrace it. Like, embrace it. And it's hard. We sit here and talk. It's hard for us when we have to endure something and go through something now. But just understand the processes and what's happening, and it helps you to endure those things.
I love it. Well, Coach, before we get off, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or my hashtag is Coach Tony, Tony Hull, Hull, on both of those platforms. Facebook is Tony Hull, and you can reach me on LinkedIn at Tony Hull. Either one of those platforms I'm on, you can reach out, and I'm here for anybody who needs me in whatever way.
Coach, again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. I truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you. And I wish you the same success. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, Coach. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.